I'm going to walk you through all of the steps that you need to know so that you can make 2 different types of swaddling blankets using double gauze fabric. Now I will walk through both of the baby blankets at the same time in this tutorial. So the biggest difference here is that you're going to use a single piece of double gauze fabric for a nice lightweight swaddling blanket. And if you want a bit of a thicker one or you want design on both sides of your swaddle, then you can use a really nice print on the one side, and then you can use a lighter fabric on the opposite side, put them wrong sides together, and what will end up happening once you actually hem up your double gauze blanket is you'll have a really nice edge surrounding one of the double gauze fabrics, and it'll just make it a little bit of a warmer swaddling blanket. A few more things to note: you should use a number 3 stitch length when sewing with double gauze fabric. That is very helpful. And also try not to pre-wash your double gauze, as once you've washed it, it gets a nice crinkled look to it that is just a lot harder to sew with. So let's jump into the tutorial and learn how to sew a wonderful swaddling blanket. To make the largest blanket that we can, we're going to take the corner of one selvaged edge and fold it over to create this triangle. And then we will just cut across that outer edge. I like to do this with a rotary cutter and my quilter's ruler. This particular blanket is going to end up being 39 inches by 39 inches. But if you buy a different brand of gauze, you may even be able to get a larger swaddle blanket from your fabric. Now, if you want to do a double-sided gauze blanket, then you will cut out 2 of these and then lay them wrong sides together, right sides facing out. But for myself, I'm just going to do this single piece of fabric here. So I am going to use my best press as well as my measuring gauge, which I will have linked in the description down below. Take it on over to the iron, and I am going to measure in at a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to iron the edge a 1/2 inch in, and then a 1/2 inch in again to create a really nice hem. Now, if you are doing the double-sided gauze, then make sure that you are folding both edges in towards the same direction. Once you've folded one edge in all the way, then start and do the same thing on the next edge. The best press is just there to help keep things crisp and stiff, as double-sided gauze is a bit of a wiggly fabric. Once all 4 edges have been pinned in place, then it's time to take it to the sewing machine, and we will sew around the entire outer edge. Preferably don't start on a corner. I always start on a corner. I don't know why, because it's way harder. So start somewhere in the middle and line up your needle with the inner edge of your hem. So I have about a 1/4 inch seam between the needle and the inside hem. And of course, start with a back stitch. Then when you come to the corner, sew all the way to the end, and then go back, turn your fabric, sew to the end again, and then you can continue going forwards. Sometimes you may need to use a sewing stiletto or a chopstick to get the fabric moving again, and that will secure each corner quite nicely. Then of course, finish with a back stitch and you're done. And once all of that is said and done, you will end up with a nice, large, lightweight swaddling blanket, which again, I think would make an amazing baby gift. So now for the washing instructions of your baby blanket. So what I do is I throw it in my wash on a warm cycle, and then I actually throw it into my dryer on high. Now, of course, depending on where you buy your fabric, different companies may have different directions for you. But it's something that I prefer to do. That way it's already been pre-shrunk before I end up gifting it to someone. I do not pre-wash it before I make these baby blankets, and the reason being, once you wash them, as you can see, they get nice and crinkled up, which makes it so much harder when you're actually sewing the baby blanket together. And as always, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future tutorials. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.